Hey folks, it's me, Christiana Gaudet. Today is Thursday, February 27th, and it is time for our Tarot Topics Weekly Newsletter recap. So I hope you had a chance to see the newsletter. If you don't get it in your inbox, you can go to my website, christianagaudet.com, and sign up for it. It comes out every Wednesday. I see people coming into the room. Thanks so much for being here. If you're watching an archive on Facebook or YouTube, I appreciate your being here. For those of you here live, thanks so much. We're going to have a few minutes to do some readings in just a moment. So if you haven't read the newsletter yet, you can see it right here on my page. Hey, Maya, Louise, good to see you all here. So this week's newsletter, I've got it right here on my phone. Maybe you do too. The topic is, and the title is, The Balance of Faith and Uncertainty. And so here's the quandary we're tackling this week. So we try to be people of faith, to have faith. Hey, Maria Luisa, it's so nice to see you here, and we are so looking forward to seeing you at StarCon in January 2021. So here's the topic. Balance between faith and uncertainty. We try to be people of faith. We believe in a higher power. We believe in our spiritual purpose. We believe in sort of finding and living our spiritual destiny. And yet, we know that tomorrow is not promised, that things may not go the way we want them to, that things that we not prefer happen can happen. Things don't always go the way that we want. Now, there are some very dangerous spiritual ideas, and we see this in Christianity. We also see it in sort of New Age spirituality. The idea that good things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people. We know that's not true. We see it, and I'm a believer in the law of attraction, but I think it's possible to take it too far, where when someone gets sick, we blame them for the sickness because they attracted it. And that if things aren't going the way we want, it always means we attracted those bad things. Sometimes that might be true, but not all the time. And the thing is, as human beings, we function best when we are not anxious. We function best when we feel secure. But how in the world do we learn to be secure in an insecure planet? Because life really isn't secure. I quoted something from one of my favorite poems, Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. Here's a couple of lines from that. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. I think that's so helpful. I think the whole poem is so helpful. If you don't know it, look it up. I know Baz Luhrmann did that always wear sunscreen thing to make fun of it, and that was actually funny. But that doesn't mean that this poem is not good and helpful. Neil says one day at a time. Yes, absolutely. So true. So true. So I think a lot of us turn to divination sometimes to sort of get a glimpse at the future and say, well, gee, are the things we want going to happen? Are things we don't want to happen going to happen? Or the best way to do it, what can I do to help make the things I want happen? And how can I handle the difficult things that are happening? And that's kind of a good way to use divination to help us stay in our place of faith and to help us not have uncertainty create anxiety. Does that all make sense? I see Neil's with me here. Hey, Karen, nice to see you. TK, nice to see you. So I thought we would do in this theme. Hey, Puck, nice to see you here. I thought we could do a couple of readings, and I would like you to limit your questions to either something that is making you feel anxious, where we can kind of work with that. What's something that's making you feel anxious? What do you need to know about that? Or something where you're having a hard time dealing with something that is different than what you wanted. You know, I wanted this to happen, but this is what's happening. How do I deal with it? So if you can form some questions around those kinds of topics, what's making you anxious, or what unfortunate thing do you find yourself having to deal with, I'll go ahead and take some questions. In the meanwhile, once again, if you do not receive the newsletter and want to, just go to my website, christianagaudet.com. You can sign up for it. It comes into your inbox every Wednesday. I always have a section called Cards for Your Consideration. And I might mention a deck. I might mention a particular card that has to do with the theme. And this week, of course, it was the Wheel of Fortune. Because the Wheel of Fortune is such an interesting card in that in a reading, it can mean good luck. It can mean good things are happening. But it can also mean any damn thing at all can happen, right? So I figured that was a good card. Okay, so Neil, my daughter Julia is in a bad toxic relationship. Will she get out soon? Let's take a look and see. When we look at this, the Three of Swords reversed. I think this is actually a great card for this. It will be a battle, but she will figure it out. She will have her healing. She will do what she needs to do. You know, the larger question there is how can you help her and support her? And honestly, you guys, you and Tammy, Neil, have to be the people who speak the truth to her. Okay. Miguelina, nice to see you. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. How do I deal with my soon-to-be transition, and especially as it relates to my abuela, grandmother, since I haven't told her anything? Ooh, okay. Always hard. Always hard. Ultimately, you have to do what is right for you, and you have to do what you feel your path is. And I believe in my heart, based on the cards that I see here, that that's exactly what you're doing. Now, when we look at your abuela may not have the reference point to understand it. But I trust that there is love between you, and if you speak honestly with her, she may not understand it, but she will hold space and love for you nonetheless. So look for love, not understanding. Hope that helps. Okay, Maya. I'd like to know if the new cinematographer I'm working with on Witch's Journey is the right person for the job. Okay, let's take a look. Actually, there may be some difficulty. I think there already has been some difficulty in all of this, Maya. But I do think this person has a good voice for the job, can show it in the right way. I do think no matter who you have, there's going to be difficulty along the way. It is part of the journey. Just keep going. Ilian. Okay. Anxiety in finding a job and place to stay. And again, I hope I am pronouncing your name correctly. It's nice to see you here. Okay. Finding a job. Honestly, I think you'll find a job very quickly. And it will be something that you enjoy and something that really uses your personality. Finding a place to stay. I think you will find something temporary with a friend. It will not be easy. That's going to be the harder piece. But once you've had the job for a little while, then you can find a more permanent place to stay. Okay, TK, planning to drive from Palm City to Vancouver, 4,000 miles if I get my Canadian papers in time. Excuse me. Will I be able to get the papers? Is it safe to drive? My car runs great at, oh my gosh, you're at 210,000 miles, planning it to be a trip of a lifetime. Okay, first of all, I do think you'll get the papers in time. Will the car make it? I think you're okay, dude. I think it's going to be fine. I think it will be the trip of a lifetime. We're all going to miss you, but I think it's all going to be good for you. Okay, very good. Okay, Miguelina, I did pronounce your name right. Awesome. Good, good. I'm glad you enjoyed your reading. Okay, Karen, I have a lot of anxiety about my youngest daughter's journey to get into medical school. Will she make it and can she handle it emotionally? Yeah, that is not an easy journey. Let's take a look and see. Oh man, yes, she's a very, very sensitive person. And I will tell you, I feel like ultimately this journey will work out, but I'm not exactly sure that this person, that she really does want to get into medical school or does want to be a doctor. It may not go exactly the way that you are thinking it's going to or that she's thinking it's going to. It may be difficult, but one way or the other, she will find her right path and be very successful ultimately. But I feel like you're sort of expecting some ups and downs and things not going exactly her way. And you are absolutely right. It will be difficult. However it goes, she can handle it and she will ultimately do well. Okay, Maria Luisa, I have a meeting tonight. Will I manage a situation I have to deal with? Let's see. Ooh, okay. So here's advice. Yes, you will manage it. The fewer words, the better. Listen more than you speak and recognize that not everyone may be quite being honest with you. Not everyone may be on the same page. So tread very, very carefully, Maria. And yes, you will handle it well. Okay. Marion, I am feeling anxious about waiting to hear if I have an interview for the job I want. Will I hear soon? Be patient. You will hear. It's going to take a few more weeks, and it may not go exactly the way you want. I do see you ending up in a good job that you will be happy with. It's going to take a few more weeks, maybe even a few more months, and there will be some ups and downs. So just ride with it. Okay, very good. Lori, nice to see you. A message about your cat's health. I am so sorry, Lori, you're going through a difficult time with this. Let's see what we've got here. The thing is, I feel like there are things that can be done to help your cat. At this point, I think we have to say it is possible that there is a path to recovery here, and we're all praying for you. Hey, Karen, nice to see you. Hi, Roxanne, nice to see you. Deanna, nice to see you. Just started listening to you. Okay. Good. Yes, definitely call me for a private reading. So the readings we're doing here today are specific. They have to do with the specific things about which we are anxious or things that have not been going our right, the way we would want. So I'm not, in this case, going to do general 6 months. I am going to look at, since we all have difficulties, how to handle whatever difficulties might show up in the next 6 months. And actually, the answer is this. You are coming out of a difficult time, Deanna. The way forward is much easier than what's behind you. You have already been through some difficulties. It's been a battle, but you've handled it well. And so you need to know you're strong and you are moving forward in a very positive way. That's what I see. Okay, very good. Okay, Roxanne, I'm taking a pharmacy technician course. I'm not good at algebra, and it's my concern whether that will keep me from passing the course. And again, folks, we are doing today, this is our newsletter recap, and so we are doing questions around the things that are giving you anxiety or the things that have not gone the way you wanted them to. So please phrase your question in that regard. I do have a time limitation, but I'll get to as many people as I possibly can. Thank you all for being here. And if you do not receive my weekly newsletter, go to my website, christianagaudet.com, and subscribe. Okay, so, and congratulations on taking this course, Roxanne. As far as the algebra is concerned, it's going to be a beast, but you're going to get it done. You will be fine. You will be able to do this, and this is a great, great path for you. So, Karen, let's see. I'm extremely anxious today, Karen. Someone very dear to me passed away suddenly Sunday. Oh, I am so sorry, Karen. So as regards this, you know, this is the whole thing the newsletter is about, these sort of sudden misfortunes and how hard it is. And you have to allow yourself time for grief. In terms of the person who passed away, what comes up for me is you yourself will receive a message from this person. And this will actually help you open up to your mediumship ability. So be in grief, you have to be, but be in open-hearted meditation to receive messages from this person and take that as a sign of the surety that we have of our spiritual existence after death and of your ability to make that connection. I'm so sorry for your loss. Okay, very good. D, having a hospital stay. Oh no, I'm so sorry. And due to be released soon, will I at least be somewhat on the mend soon? I am so sorry this is happening, D. We are all sending love to you. And D, I hate to tell you this, but it's going to take a minute. I am so sorry. Reach out to me and let me know where you're at and what's going on. I want to hear from you personally. Please take a minute to message me. It's going to take a minute here. You will be fine. You will be okay. Just give it time. It's a process, and I am so sorry for that, but it will be okay in the long run. Karen, that totally confirms my feelings that she might be finding something slightly different. Yep, absolutely. Okay. Hey, Jennifer, nice to see you here. Hey, Missy, glad you're here. Missy, you're going to be my last reading for today. I thank everyone so much for being here. I'm having anxiety over the process of buying our house and nervous that something is going to go wrong. Let's take a look. You got to be patient. And here's the thing, something might go wrong, but then something will go right. It will be okay in the long run. So just ride with it. Okay, you guys. So here's the thing. When we talk about prayer, prayer does not mean, and I said this in the newsletter, this is one of my mother's old things. God answers every prayer, but sometimes the answer is no. Just because we pray for something doesn't mean we're going to get what we pray for. When we pray, though, we attune ourselves to a higher energy. And when we do that, we will have the strength to bear what we must, and we will have the ability to turn things in our favor as much as we can. That's the best we can do. Some things will go right. Some things will go wrong. That's the way it is in life. But as spiritual people, we do not expect our spirituality to cause us to make things always go right. We expect our spirituality will give us the strength to go forward in the best way possible. And that's what tarot does for us as well. Karen says, how appropriate for my situation. I was just thinking of you and how I always miss your live streams, right? Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate y'all. I'll be back tomorrow with the Friday weekly wrap-up. That's where we do readings for how did the week go? So I'll be here tomorrow in the morning to do that, probably on the early side. So look for me then. And I have openings this weekend for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, and also in person here in my Palm City office. So reach out. I would love to see you. Thank you guys so much. Take care.